Hasta la vista, baby.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Movies in the Man Cave. We're talking Serenity.
Serenity.
Relaxation. Maybe we'll put a little...
No snoozing.
Hot stones and acupuncture.
And a little bit of cha-cha! Some of that.
So serene.
Yes.
The movie Serenity, which is based or continues the TV show Firefly, which was on Fox very briefly, about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe
a
a
long
little
time
bit.
ago.
Yeah, right about 6 or 7 years, I'd say. About space cowboys.
Space Cowboys.
Right?
Yep.
You loved the show first, and then I watched it. You tell me about the show.
I got into the show after, I didn't watch it on TV. Yeah, space western. You got, I don't want to use the word rebel because then you get into Star Wars, but there's this, rebel group against this, I think, they're called the Alliance, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got this rebel group against the Alliance.
Empire was taken.
The Empire, yes. They're the brown coats, the rebels are. And it's just, a civil war that these guys are kind of like the last of the rebels, and they're just kind of roaming the galaxy, trying to survive, basically, and the Alliance ends up looking for them, hunting them down, and...
Smugglers, they're outlaws, and they...
taking jobs where they can find
It's
them.
the future, but they have, the lasers look like old-school revolvers,
old pistols, and
everybody wears the brown
trench
coat,
coats.
so they look like
Yeah,
cowboys
yeah.
and stuff, and then the music very much sets the tone.
It's
a Western.
pretty much, if you followed, it's pretty much a TV show, like if you followed Han Solo.
Sure.
So like...
Yeah, very much.
It's sweet.
So it got this huge following after it was canceled. Everybody bought it up on DVD, and then there's so many unfinished storylines as there is when a show gets canceled. And Joss Whedon, who directed the TV show, you will know him from the Avengers, decided, hey, let's make the movie. Let's
finish this
Let's
up.
tie it together
Yeah.
for my fans.
Yay.
Which is really cool that he decided
It
to
was,
do that.
yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Obviously it's to make money, but at the same time, you could have done any movie and made money.
Yeah.
He did this to some fan service. So, Serenity takes place after the show, and they're still on the run from the Alliance. There's not too much to get into. They're carrying a girl who's kind of psychic, her brain's been messed up with it by the Alliance,
yeah, she's kind of like
and now
their
she's becoming an
secret-
assassin.
Yeah, she's like their secret weapon,
thing.
but she got away,
Whatever.
and so they're trying to...
So they're trying to reclaim her.
Yep.
And she is on Serenity, which is the name of the ship, which is where the title comes from.
Yes.
What did you think of Serenity, or did you want me to go first? Or
I can go first.
Go.
It'll be pretty brief. Like I said, I watched the show, and this was right around when I first got Netflix, and they had both the show and the movie.
And they're still out there.
And okay, yeah, they're still out there. And I was just super nerded out. I think it took me 2 days, maybe 3, to watch the entire series and the movie.
Wow.
Like, I just watched them just back to back to back to back to back, and then I watched the movie right away. So I was in the zone. I don't know that you can watch it without having watched the series. I mean, you could, but there'd be...
I would not recommend it at all. There'd
be
it's just
plot holes and it'd
it's
be weird.
to wrap up the series.
Yeah.
Is the point of it.
So definitely watch the series first. But for me, loving the series, the movie was just amazing because it pretty much did everything that you wanted the show to do with this, not necessarily big Hollywood budget, but a pretty nice sized budget.
Better than Fox was given.
Right. And so you got, amazing effects for the ship and awesome battle scenes. You finally get an extensive look at the bad guys from the TV show. Usually they're just kind of hinted at, the Reavers.
I don't think we ever saw them in the
TV
TV show.
I think they do a flyby and you maybe witness flashbacks of attacks. But in the movie, you actually see them. There's extensive fight scenes with them. There's a backstory to them. It's just really, really well done. And every single main character, they got all the original cast from the show to be back in the movie. And I just love every single one of them. They're all totally quirky and different in their own ways, but...
So, and you got Nathan Fillion playing the captain.
Yeah.
You got Alan Tudyk as the pilot. Is there any other major players, or everybody else is kind of randoms, but they're all really good, and,
it's
the
awesome.
chemistry between them, I think, is what was so good in the TV show and the movie.
Yeah. There's bits of it where, you watch the show and you're really invested into the storyline and the characters, and then there's, scenes that happen or storyline twists and turns and all this stuff that you just, if you're really into the show, you're on the edge of your seat. Just all around awesome movie. I loved it.
Yep. I really enjoyed this movie. There's so many things I want to say about it, and it's just tough to where to start. It's very Joss Whedon, which is absolutely a compliment. The dialogue, both through the series and through the movie, is just amazing. It's just like Avengers. It's so snappy and sarcastic. The bug line when they came back right at the beginning and asking if Summer was okay. And, oh, God, it was so funny. Sorry, he's out forever ago, so he doesn't remember. I just watched it. Oh, it's so funny. And yeah, there's so many comedic moments in there, despite all the seriousness, which is again very Whedon-esque and terrific, amazing stuff. One thing that the movie I felt got away from was some of the westerny stuff, which was a shame because I feel like you got so much more of a classic western in the TV show, and then we got to the movie, it was more sci-fi, which I obviously love sci-fi as well. But just having them combined, I thought was so much stronger. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, what I remember is it did jump more, focused more on the future, technology stuff than Western. But what I liked with the movie too was that you got to see more than just the ship, and I think in the show you see the Alliance ship as well. But in the movie you get to see 3, 4, maybe 5 other planets.
Oh yeah, they're all over the place.
I mean, so it's all over the place, different ships, different scene. I mean, so that was really neat to see the different universe.
You said it kind of wrapped up all the storylines, which I enjoyed, but it's something that I wanted over like 2 or 3 seasons, and unfortunately it had to be crammed into 2 hours. Yeah. So I felt like a lot of the story was rushed. Not that he had a lot of options,
Right.
It's just they're not going to pick up his season again, so it's just you really got to finish it up in 2 hours, which I think really hurt a lot of the character development. Like, you see it developing over 13 episodes, slowly, but you're getting there, and all of a sudden it's like, bam! This is where we're at. Eat it up.
Yeah, take it all. That's all you get.
So that's kind of a downfall of the way he had to do it, but, again, that's pretty minor. It's better to have a rushed finish than no finish, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather have that
been like
than
a
have
cliffhanger or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And then to have it not finish after that.
And I'm not going to spoil this, but I will tell you, if you are a fan of Joss Whedon, I hate to keep bringing him up, he will break your heart.
He does.
It happens in the Avengers. If you haven't seen that yet, be prepared to have your heart crushed. It happens in this movie. I heard it happens in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I never actually watched that show, but
no.
That was his first big thing, was even
Right.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Right.
And I heard that, and then even this, if you watch that Dr. Horribles that he did, it's on Netflix. It's funny. It's great. It's Neil Patrick Harris and then Nathan Fillion's back. But again, just takes your heart out. It's just like,
thanks for your money.
Is this your puppy? Bam! Yeah. He's terrible that way, but it shows you how invested you are in these characters when it hurts that much. So yeah. So that's Serenity. I would have liked it a little bit more westerny, and I would have liked it to be longer, stretched out.
Yeah,
to type
that could have been a trilogy. They make so many movies that don't need to be trilogies these days. Hobbit, but that one should have been.
Yeah. So that's Serenity. I like it a lot. Cool.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the Super Scramble from last week. It was not a Super Scramble. It was a sucky scramble. There was a lot of problems last week with our episode, and I apologize because they were my fault. First of all, the editing, the timing got skewed. So we came in over our open, and then a lot of the posters didn't match up for Tom Hanks movies. And then the scramble in my program was super scrambled, but then it rendered out and it looked completely different. But since our episode was like 25 minutes long, like I didn't watch the whole thing through. Right. And then B, if I had, I wouldn't have gone to re-render it anyway.
Right.
And then YouTube wasn't uploading it. Like it took like a day and a half to upload to YouTube.
Forever.
And so that's why it was late. So it was just problems galore. We're a 2-man crew, which means a 1-man crew because I do all the work,
Yeah,
and we
pretty
just
much.
fall
I
behind
sleep.
sometimes. So.
No.
Anyway, it was Apollo 13. I'm not going to put it up here even.
No.
Everybody who tried to guess it got it
Yeah.
right. Buanta and James and Jake, they all got it right.
Everyone wins this week.
So apologies. It was kind of a freebie. It was beginner level.
That was a good one.
Ha.
This week, not so much.
Not so much. We have a quote, and we're not doing a scramble, and I can't mess the quote up so
No,
bad.
I don't think so.
The quote is, "Your entrails will become your X-trails." It's part of a longer spiel that is given,
Dialogue.
but that is the snippet that has always stuck in my brain, and I loved it so much. I thought it was so funny. Your entrails will become your X-trails. Woo! All right. So if you know a movie that is from, go ahead and type it up in the comments, and we will get your name on here next week. And again, apologies for last week's debacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Movies coming out this week. There's some horror movie called The Possession. I didn't even download the... There's so many generic horror movies out there. I just really don't even...
The one thing that's interesting about this one is it's based on a true story of, this person that bought this box at a garage sale. It was possessed and blah, blah, so it's kind of your typical, based on a true story horror.
Every horror movie says it's based on a true story. Troll Hunter said it was a true story. Give me a break.
Yeah,
So,
that was a true story.
no,
That was
whatever.
found footage.
Yeah.
That was found footage. It's different.
So to me, every horror movie is generic these
It's
days.
getting pretty bad.
And there's one that comes out every week. Occasionally you get a rare one that looks good.
Yeah.
But the other one is Lawless.
Why can't I think of what that one is?
This is a Prohibition era movie. It's got Tom Hardy, who played Bane in the new Batman. It's got Shia LaBeouf. It's got Gary Oldman. It's got Guy Pearce. So it has an outstanding cast.
Mm-hmm.
I like time period
I was
movies.
just going to say that. I like time period movies.
Especially the Prohibition era. That could be a lot of fun. I don't feel like I love it based on the trailer. I feel like it's not going to be action enough for me.
Yeah.
I have a short attention span, and it feels like it's going to be very drama and like...
Yeah, but also isn't it... Well, I think they pushed back Gangster Squad.
Yeah, very similar.
Similar
I think
to
it's going
that,
to be in the time period.
And so it's kind of interesting to see.
And I don't know right now that I'm looking hugely forward to either one. But Lawless is the one that comes out this week, and I'm kind of up in the air. I'll wait to see what kind of some of the reviews say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good cast, but...
Yeah, I really like Shia LaBeouf, although he's been really kind of a dink in his interviews lately.
Yeah. Ah, well.
And Tom Hardy's awesome, always. So,
Sweet.
all right. That was a very serene episode,
Ooh.
wasn't
Yes.
it?
Yes, it was.
It was beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. Join us next week. I don't know what we're doing yet. We didn't know what we were doing for this episode until like 20 minutes ago, so...
We're on top of things.
Stay tuned. There's always a surprise around the Man Cave, huh? Yeah. Yeah. All right, we'll see you then.
I had to burp,
Yeah.
and I was going to burp, but then I laughed and it went away.
Oh. It's good to know if you're ever like in public where you can't burp.
Yeah, or given like a public speech or something.
As long as it's not like at a funeral.
Yeah. We really missed John.
Better than a burp, huh?
I apologize.